Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I do these videos throughout the week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. The views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other therapist for that matter. Boom shakalaka done. I'd like to thank my sponsor, BetterHelp, BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/Chris Godinez. They're an online therapy company. They are international. They are everywhere in the world. All you got to do is go to betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez and fill out a questionnaire, and they will place you with a licensed master's level or PhD level therapist in your state, or if you are outside of the United States, they will place you with somebody that can counsel you. So there that is. Okay. Thank you, betterhelp.com/Chris Godinez. Okay. So the question today was, what is EMDR? All right. So EMDR is, let me pull that back up. What does it stand for? Because I always forget the R. I don't know why I do that, but I do. Hold on. Okay. All right. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. So basically your eyes are going back and forth. It can be anything making your eyes go back and forth. It could be a pen. It could be lights. You know, it could be different practitioners do different things. And the basic idea of EMDR is that while you are kind of watching the lights or the pen or whatever go back and forth, you are processing the trauma. You're talking about the trauma. And so it helps you take it out of, happening in the here and now, which is what flashbacks are. It's like, no, this is happening here and now. So it takes it from here and now to this happened in the past. It's not currently happening here and now, here now, here now, here now, which is what our little amygdala does. So it basically bypasses the amygdala. So the amygdala is the almond-shaped organ that sits an inch inside of each ear. This little guy is our fight, flight, freeze, or fawn center. So when it perceives a threat, when we have a memory, or we see something, or we smell something, or we taste something, or we hear something that reminds us of the abuse, this little guy lights up like a Christmas tree, tells the hippocampus and the hypothalamus, oh my gosh, we're in danger. We need to do something. We need to fight, flee, freeze. We need to do something. So then these two guys tell the body to release cortisol. Cortisol gets released. We start tensing up because our body's getting ready to fight, flight, run away, freeze, let the predator go on by, or fawn, give in to the predator so that we don't get killed. So that's what's going on. So if you can bypass the amygdala, you're not going to get re-traumatized. So that is what EMDR does. It bypasses the whole fight, flight, freeze, or fawn thing. And it allows the person to reprogram, reprocess, place the memory in the past, not the present, in the past where it belongs, and be able to talk about it without getting re-traumatized. So EMDR is a very good therapy for people that have got trauma, for sure. The next question along those lines was, okay, where is that question? Can you do EMDR on yourself or some version of it? Here in the UK, therapy is like gold dust, and EMDR is not very common. Another therapy I had was psychodynamic, which was not very good. Well, it depends on the practitioner, to be sure. So, can you do EMDR on yourself? Short answer, yes. Do I think it's a good idea? No. It's useful to have a really good practitioner with you while you're doing the EMDR, because you want to make sure that you're in an environment where it's calm and quiet and safe, and you're able to focus, and you're able to do the, the switching back and forth, with the eyes, either through lights or a pen or whatever. And two, a lot of times what people are not ready for when they do EMDR is that they are still going to have a reaction. It may not be as intense, but they're still going to have a reaction. There's going to be a little bit of a reaction there. So, hold on. I'm going to turn off the heater here. Because now I'm getting too hot. Before I was too cold. Now I'm too hot. Anyway, so you want to have a practitioner there. Why? Because good practitioners are going to make sure you're safe, number one. Number two, they're going to make sure you're not interrupted. Kids don't come screaming through, or, some phone rings, or, doorbell or whatever. And two, they're going to make sure that you're okay at the end of the session. So there's it avoids a lot of the amygdala. But yeah, there's going to be things you're going to want to talk about with somebody who understands trauma. So, I mean, you can do it. I mean, technically, let me look up this site that I saw. It says, let me get rid of that one. It says, yeah, there's a virtual EMDR site, self-administered EMDR. There's other places that talk about self-administered EMDR. They say it can be a valuable tool, but it may not provide the same level of guidance and support as therapy with a trained professional. With a complex or severe trauma, which is actually what most of us have gone through, it is advisable to consult with an EMDR therapist. And I honestly think that that is the best route to go, is to get a good EMDR therapist and let them guide you and let them support you. Because when we're processing all of this heavy duty trauma, right, it's better to have that support, and it's better to have a therapist to kind of help you normalize what you're thinking and feeling. Because when we have, trauma and we're dealing with all of this stuff, we have thoughts that we think we're crazy, or that this reaction I'm having is not normal, and in fact it is. Excuse me. So to trauma, if you're having a reaction, it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can't go through horrible things and not have a reaction. So the EMDR kind of helps take it out of the present, like, oh my God, here now, here now, here now, which is what flashbacks kind of are, and helps the brain put it into the past, so it's not constantly at the forefront. So I strongly recommend getting an EMDR therapist. Now, I know in the UK, and I've heard this from so many of you, that the UK is really not good with mental health, which makes me very angry. And they make it difficult for people to get to specialists. They make it difficult for people to get to somebody who does DBT or EMDR or, things like that. So they are unicorns, apparently, in the UK. But if you can find a good EMDR therapist, go. I don't recommend doing it on your own, especially if there is severe trauma or complex trauma. So, it's not that it's dangerous per se, but it may not be beneficial. It may make you feel worse than better. And I don't want you to feel worse than better. I want you to feel better. So that is something to consider. So you could look up the sites that do self-administered EMDR, but again, I don't recommend it. I really strongly encourage you to get somebody that can help you process, that can help you debrief afterwards, that can make sure that you're safe and make sure that the environment is safe and make sure that you've got a sounding board that you can talk about what you're thinking and feeling about that particular session. So, yeah. So a short answer, yes, you could. Do I recommend it? No. So, and I don't know what to do about the stuff in the UK, because I've heard from multiple people that it's difficult to get into a therapist, regardless of what their modality is. And also that that there's a lack of certain modalities, which doesn't make sense to me. You would think that they would have all the modalities that we have here in the US, but apparently they don't. Or apparently, I don't know if it's that the government won't pay for the different modalities, or the insurance won't pay for the different modalities. But yeah. So just be a bulldog. Your mental health is your mental health. And if you need to get into a EMDR therapist, then you just keep being loud and make sure you get into an EMDR therapist. So, or a DBT therapist. I feel the same way. It's like, squeaky wheel gets oiled. So that is my recommendation for that. Okay. It's a Monday. I'm tired. All right. So I'm going to stop. I will answer more questions on Wednesday and on Friday. Don't forget, on Sunday, I'm going to be talking about what you're going to need when you divorce one of these disordered people. So we're going to talk about, how to keep yourself safe, how to protect yourself emotionally, how to take care of the kids, what kind of an attorney to get, questions you need to ask, that type of thing. So we're going to go over that because I know there are people thinking of divorcing as we come into the new year, because that's usually when people have had it up to here and they're like, it's a new year and I'm done. So we're going to talk about divorce on Sunday. All right, kids, have a great week, and I will talk to you again on Wednesday. Bye.